Well, hey there, everybody. Today I'm working on some Cynatrol mechanical flashers. Flashers are what animate neon or bulb signs. These happen to be primary flashers, which means they interrupt the low voltage side. High voltage flashers that flash the secondary side of the transformer do exist, but nowadays most of the animation and flashing is done with electronic flashers, but I still prefer these mechanical ones myself, mainly because they're interesting. Now here on the table we have a 1, 2, 3, and 4-point mechanical flasher. The 1-point flasher came from the Eminger's Bakery sign. The 2-point flasher is from the Dundee Parking Arrow. 3-point flashers from Plaza Lanes. And this 4-point flasher is brand new old stock, June 1988. Now, all these used flashers have failed in some way or another, and they were no longer functional. This 3-point flasher obviously failed with some sort of electrical arcing that melted the contact block and thus interrupted the circuit. Mechanical flashers are really quite simple. All you do is hook up the line and neutral on the low voltage, 120, and it runs current through this coil, generating a magnetic field that spins this copper disc. When that disc spins, it opens and closes, makes or breaks the electrical connection to the primary side of the transformer. The pattern on which those contacts open and close is determined by the cam on the shaft. More contacts are added to the shaft to increase the complexity of the pattern. These two smaller flashers, the 1 and 2-point flashers, have both failed in the same way. It looks like gravity is the worst enemy here, and the shaft has worn through the what appears to be a brass bushing, causing the disc to stop turning. So what I want to do today is attempt repair. I want to try to get this old bushing out of here and see if I can replace it and get this working again. So we'll take it over to the bench and dive in. Alright, and this is the flasher from Eminger's Bakery. And you can see the failure point here is actually this wear spot on the disc. It was hanging like this in the sign, and when the disc would rotate, it would scrape on the bottom of the motor here, and then get hung up. I don't know if you can hear that, but stop. Now, I guess a quick fix for this would just be to flip the whole flasher upside down, and then it works just fine because you're using a part of the bushing on the back that's not worn. But again, I guess that will eventually fail. That seems to be the main failure point on this these ones with the mechanical flashes with the spinning discs. But this looks pretty simple. I think I can get this out of here. It looks like if I take this nut off and this set screw off the disc, I might be able to get that shaft out and then pull the disc out. So I guess we'll give that a shot. Alright, so we got a little another brass bushing on this one. I guess that makes sense. There's the spindle in there. And set screw. Suppose I could have done that one first. No problem. So yeah, I think it's working. Oh, maybe. We hung up somewhere. Oh, well, the splines on the shaft are only halfway through, so it's the non-splined part is hanging up. Okay, well that works anyway. I can just pull it out this way. And here's our little shaft. So that seems to be intact enough. That's pretty simple there. There's a good look at our little bushing. Well, I guess we'll try to get it out of there. I can't find my punches, so I guess I'll use this Allen wrench to see if I can drive it out. Well, I missed and it didn't. I thought it was going to be a lot harder to get out than that. So here's our little culprit. I guess you could just rotate this. And you can see that it's oblong. The hole is egged out there. I suppose you could just rotate this and then let the spindle wear on the other side, kind of like, the flipping it over. But I did buy a brass rod. This is a 5/32 inch brass rod. I kind of guessed on that because I couldn't get in there. This is, yeah, the narrow part, the outer part. I didn't realize it was slightly larger. Well, let's see what this looks like. Yeah, it seems snug enough. I could just probably cut a bit of it and then press fit it in there. Let's give that a try. Alright, so that bushing is 9/64 inch tall. So I want to try to cut that much off of here. So let's see what we can do with a Dremel. Scribed a little line on there. Ooh, it's hot. Hot brass. All right, well, let's see how accurate I was. About a 64th of an inch off. I don't think it really matters that too much. I'd probably sand a little bit of that off, though. It's a little jagged. Yeah, I think that's good enough. Alright, let's see if we can press fit this in here. Flush. Spindle like 3.5 64ths. This is my smallest drill bit. Is about 3/64. So that should work all right. Doesn't quite fit, so I'll have to expand the hole a little bit. Alright, there we go. wide enough for it to spin freely. And now I'll try to put it back together. I got it back together and took a little tweaking and adjusting, but I got it so it rotates without scraping in any orientation. So should hopefully work. Let's hook it up to power and see what happens. Alright, so we got this all hooked up. We got the line, the neutral, and the load going out to the primary side, hot side of the transformer, and the secondary leads hooked up to a neon tube. So all I gotta do is flick the switch and see if it works. Ready? Well, I should say I haven't cleaned the contact on here, so it might be all corroded. It might not even work. But well, see what happens. 3, 2, 1. Ha! Since these are so simple, I mean, it's really hard to mess up. So I got a speed adjuster here. That's fun. Let's tip it up here. Those wires are kind of stiff, so they're kind of... Sounds like it might need a little bit of lubrication. It's probably a little old. It has a date on here too. It's really hard to read. I can't actually tell what it says. July 1982 or 1962. Either way, it's almost 40 plus years old. So I like it. I'm glad that little brass bushing replacement trick worked out all right. I don't know how long it'll last, but that rod was pretty cheap. Just take a few minutes to replace it. So I want to see if I can get this one working again, but this one's gonna need some replacement parts. It's pretty roached out, so it does still work though. I tested it on one of the Plaza Lanes videos. So, but anyway, wow, that's cool. Got it working again. Hope you enjoyed. Hit subscribe for more neon related videos, and we'll see you next time.